Okay, let's talk Bates episode 9 and 10. I didn't have time to make a 9 video, so I'm going to do both episodes together. Episode 9 and episode 10, the finale. First of all, I just want to say that it was an excellent finale, and it was fun. And the whole season was great, and a lot of people would agree with me on that it was a lot better than we thought it was going to be. Also, an interesting comment was that someone said that on Get Glue that this show would actually have stood on its own pretty good without even the name Bates Motel on it, which I'll agree to that, even though it is based on the Norman Bates story. So episode 9, Emma ate a pot cupcake, and that was not exactly smart to do in her condition. It was a bit cute and humorous in a way, but it was kind of dumb too. But on her blog, she explains that a little bit more and why she did it. And A&E on their Bates Motel section has Emma's blog, and it's really awesome. I was checking it out last night. I'll put a link below to that, and it's just really cool. It's written, she's got blogs and videos, and it's like, you know, she's a real person just really talking about her life, and it's fun. So I got caught up in that, and it seems so real, so check that out. I really hate the situation with Dylan Bradley. She's such a witch. I hate her so much, and I've made that clear. But the point is, I just don't like it. Yeah, it was nice that he helped her get stuff from her dad's office, but I really wish Remo would have shot her, but he's too nice too. And it's just really icky. I don't like it at all. And I just hope that nothing comes of that situation between them. So I was wrong about Jake Abernathy, or Joe, or whoever he is, whatever alias he uses. He wasn't what I thought he was, which would have been cool, but he's just a creepy guy, and so, you know, oh well. But I'm still disappointed about the predictability about that, him being involved in that whole situation. And he didn't want the book. I wonder who made that book. Maybe it was one of the clients, I don't know, but he wanted money. And so, yeah, so episode 10, wow, episode 10, at the end of episode 9, we have, basically, at the end of it, we have Abernathy with a gun to Norma saying, you know, give me the money, you're going to meet me at midnight at the marina, you're going to give me the money. And she's like, agrees, because she's scared to death. She's scared for herself, and she's scared for her boys. So she goes in episode 10 to complain to Romero several times and bugging him. And the people at the office are obviously annoyed with her. But, you know, this woman's got a tough life here in this stupid town, and she's trying her best. So she tells him about the Abernathy threat in the meeting at midnight, and Romero says, trust me, I'll take care of it. And he's so stoic about everything. And she's like, trust you and you'll just take care of it? And she needs some confirmation here, you know. He's saying, yeah, you could trust him, but I'd be the same way. I'd be like, what am I supposed to do? This guy threatened me. He expects me to be here tonight with money, you know. You're not telling me your end of the deal, what you're going to do. So what do I do? And he doesn't tell her. So, you know, poor Norma. They've really played on our sympathies with her, and they've really made her a likable character. And I do really feel sorry for her. So she's scared, and she asks Dylan for a gun, and he's like, no, because she's not so, and a gun in her hand would be really bad. So, but he teaches her how to shoot, and that was a cute scene, because he calls her Mom finally. And Norma's a pretty good shot. So if for some reason you stumbled upon this review and you haven't watched episode 10, just stop right now and do not listen to this, because this is a big thing that happened. Spoiler alert. Romero goes, brings the money. He got the money, I think he probably found it, I would say, at Shelby's place. He got the money. He talked to Keith Summers' sister, which confirmed this whole Abernathy thing, and he went out midnight, and Norma was there, and she was freaking out, and she hid because she saw Romero coming, and she was all shaking with her little gun. It was kind of cute. And so Abernathy comes, is like, who are you, man? And they have a conversation. And for a split second, I will admit that I thought that Romero was going to be crooked and take the money and take part of the business. But then he shoots him. He shoots Abernathy. Abernathy falls into the ocean, and Romero throws the money in after him. And I was very impressed by this. I was like, yeah, you go, Sheriff. And I was like, he's a good man, you know. He may still have some secrets of his own, I don't know, but maybe he's actually the most decent person in town. I felt really good about this. I'll admit also he looked really hot in that scene. But he did this, and he said the best part was like, Norma, you can go home now. And she was like, she comes out of her hiding spot and stares at him in amazement and almost heroically, you know. And she was like, wow. And she goes home happy. And, you know, I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know if this is going to happen, and maybe I should stop predicting things, but I wouldn't be surprised if Norma starts to have a thing for Alex Romero, because she's had such a bad life and bad experiences with men, and the men that she chooses are scumbags. And right now Alex Romero seems to be a decent, strong, confident guy, somebody totally opposite of who she, you know, a good man, totally opposite of who she's been with. And, you know, he's basically her hero. She may like that. I don't know. Who can blame her? So, Emma and Norman go to the dance together, and there's a very cute scene of him asking her and her being like, okay, jerk off, I'll go with you. That was really cute. The theme of the dance was really awesome. I really loved how they decorated with the snow coming as they went down the stairs. That was really awesome. And Emma looked very beautiful in her dress, and she's just really a pretty girl. And Norman's a jerk, and he keeps looking at Bradley. And even though Emma tried to give up, and she told him the truth, and she's like, I'm not gonna worry about you. I know you don't like me, but I want to be your friend. She still likes him, and she had tears in her eyes, and I felt so bad for her. And she ran off, and, you know, good for her, too, telling Norman that he can get a ride with someone else. So, poor Norman, well, he kind of deserved it, but he goes outside, and Bradley's weirdly creepy boyfriend comes out and punches him, and that witch either told him or implied that Norman took advantage of her after her dad's death. And so, enough said about that. I'm not going to go on a Bradley rant right now. You know how I feel about her. So, Norman, bloody nose and wet in the rain, gets picked up by Miss Watson. Now, cut back to earlier in the day at school. Norman catches Miss Watson on the phone with someone named Eric, whom she's saying, you know, don't call me again, leave me alone. And she's very upset by this guy. And she's so touchy-feely and weird. I don't like her. I never have. She's just so odd. And she sends Norman very mixed signals. She acts like she's attracted to him and wants him. And yet she acts like a concerned teacher who's supportive, yet she's really nosy too. So she's just really a strange person. And so she sees him walking, and she picks him up and tells him to get in the car, and she'll take him to her house and clean him up. So that was a really awkward scene. So it just seems like she likes Norman a little bit too much, and we already know that Norman digs her. But more on that later. It was really funny, the scene where Norman's getting really upset about the socks, because the whole scene was just hilarious to me, because Norma's sitting here playing with her gun on the bed. Norman comes in screaming about his socks. She shoves the gun under her, and it was just really awkward and hilarious the way she shoved the gun under her. And then he comes in screaming, and then Dylan comes in and is all like, I have socks, you can have it. It was just like the normal dysfunctional family argument. It was just funny, and I really enjoyed that scene. And so, yeah, and then Norman is sitting there waiting for Emma to come, and his mom drops the bomb on him. Because earlier when she was at the therapist, she lied, which you can tell, about her family. But she just drops the bomb on him and tells him about what happened when she was younger, and that's just like really something that a son does not need to hear, especially when he's gonna go on a date to his first dance. It's just really awkward. So I'm not happy with the way that he treated Emma, but I'll give him that he was weirded out by what just happened between him and his mom. But he handled it well, and he was really sweet to his mom about it. I think maybe she should have told Dylan too, though, or instead, but anyway. So, end of the episode, we have Norman at Miss Watson's, and she's cleaning him up. She says she's going to go change and take him home. She leaves the door open, and I don't know whether she does this on purpose because she's weird and slutty, or because we think that's what she did. And Norman's staring at her, and then he sees his mother there on the couch telling him, what kind of woman does this? Brings a teenage boy and gets undressed with her door half open. And it's the same type of thing that he heard when she was saying that Bradley was not a nice girl. So Miss Watson is not a nice woman. And so it's funny because they had Norma kind of dressed a little bit more like the old lady in the movies, and she had her hair up a little bit. And so she says, you know what you have to do, and he freaks out. And then we see him running, and he goes home to his mom, and she's very happy. It seems like a whole happy ending, everything's going to be okay. Norma feels better. Maybe they'll stay there a while in town and not move. And then we see the scene with the teacher dead. And again, spoiler alert, sorry. Teacher dead, neck slit. We assume that Norman had a blackout and he did this to her. But, and there's a fine line here, but possibly he didn't do it. Maybe we've got the fact that they made us hear the conversation between her and some guy on the phone who's obviously upsets her a lot. Maybe he did it. It could also be that she killed herself because she was so upset about this thing and her own secret she may have. Or Norman could have done it. We don't know yet. But this is something to think about and contemplate until next season. And speaking of next season, I've heard rumors that we have to wait till 2014. As I said before, Bates Motel was renewed for a second season, yay, but if we have to wait till 2014, that's going to drive me nuts. Whew. So, that being said, just a couple of get-goo comments. A lot of people say that they hate Bradley and they wish Norman killed Bradley, and that Emma is prettier than Bradley, and Norman's stupid. And somebody said Emma should have slapped the taste out of Norman's mouth. Bradley doesn't want you, you big dummy. A lot of people are just really excited about season 2. But I really thought it was interesting. This one comment, someone said that their son realized that Miss Watson was wearing a necklace with a B initial on it, and that possibly B, that she's the one who was having an affair with Bradley's father. Interesting, maybe. I didn't catch that, but that was a good catch by them. So yeah, let's see if there's anything else. That's basically it. I kind of said already about how people feel about the show. And if anybody has any information on the next season and when it's going to start, please leave me a comment below, because if I don't find it on my own, I'd really love to find that out so that I can prepare myself and not be upset. But I have plenty of other shows to watch right now, so that's just going to be something I'm going to be clawing for and waiting. So anyway, thanks so much for watching, if you did watch any of my Bates Motel reviews. And I don't know yet if I'm going to do it again. Maybe at least for the premiere for next season, because I have a feeling that's going to be really awesome. And keep enjoying it and looking forward to the new season, season 2 of Bates. Later.